with only a 3G connection, so we apologize for the choppy video. Hopefully our fantastic voices are coming through loud and clear on your computers at home. Tim, tell us about what happened in the first half. What happened?
Well, let's recap it.
Let's recap, shall we?
Well, Glacier Peak, if you missed anything, you missed the great hook and ladder trickery, which, Jesus, you haven't seen that. Like we said earlier, that's like Boise State's playing tonight.
Boise State, Oklahoma.
Yeah,
Fiesta Bowl.
Exactly. So, Caribou got a touchdown on the hook and ladder. That made it 7-0. Then we had Mount Vernon come back. There was kind of a controversial, about a 50-yard reception by Adam West, and Sean Elledge appeared to take it out of his hands, but they gave him the reception. The result, they ended up getting a touchdown out of that. Then we had Glacier Peak end up getting a touchdown off a strange holding call, which, on a punt.
Bizarro. Add it to the list of Wesco 3A bizarro calls.
Correct. It went in Glacier Peak's favor today. Smeds was going to do a fake punt.
Yes.
And essentially there was a call on that defensive holding, gave him a 15-yard penalty. The result, a touchdown for Glacier Peak.
So the big stud coming in tonight for Mount Vernon, number 32, Markella Cody. He came in again with 949 yards rushing. He scored a touchdown, so he's now up to 16 touchdowns. But Markell is just 12 carries for 17 yards, again with one touchdown. Glacier Peak has done a phenomenal job holding him in check.
Well, yeah, and here's a guy was staring at 1,000 yards rushing for this game, averaging almost 9 yards a carry. Glacier Peak's got him to just over a yard a carry, and they've really shut him down. So kudos to the Glacier Peak defensive line, and kudos to Coach Steve Hannon for making some adjustments there with Timmy Douglas and doing what he did to slow that line down.
Other Bulldog of note coming in, Adam West, the big-time receiver, over 600 yards, 5 receptions this game for 114 yards, really most of it on one big play where he and the wrestler went up and it was a jump ball. Elledge actually came up with it, but they called a reception for Adam West.
Yep, that old tie goes to the runner, I think, type of thing.
So Glacier Peak just running quickly by the numbers as you see the fields, the teams getting back on the fields. Glacier Peak, 21 carries for 170 yards, and that's almost all AK-47 Alex Caribou. Through the air, 7 passes, and 20 attempts, 7 completions for 107 yards for David Linney, who started off slow but started to get a little bit better the second part of the second quarter.
Yeah, and Linney kind of, like you said, he started off slow. He had an interception. He had that fumble. Had some mistakes in that first half. We're looking for him to, get on target here in the second half.
We told you, actually, the rushing total yards for Mount Vernon Bulldogs, 16 carries for -6 because several tackles for loss. And Bennett Gibson, the quarterback from Mount Vernon, has been sacked a few times.
Yep, that's right. And sacks, remember, sacks, rushing yards come off a sack. So when you count the sacks, they're in minus territory right now.
Also on through the air, the kid we loved in warm-ups, Bennett Gibson's arm. Again, the junior quarterback for Mount Vernon, having a decent evening. He is a 9 for 19, 152 yards, no touchdown passes and 1 pick, but him and Lenny basically traded picks on ensuing series. So
correct.
He does throw a beautiful ball. I think he's a very good quarterback.
Yeah, and he, we talked about this early, looks very comfortable back there in the pocket, and he looks like that typical, Division I type quarterback standing there in the pocket.
On an injury standpoint for the Bulldogs fans, Ciosi, and I hope I'm pronouncing Ciosi Seymour, number 1, the 6-foot junior, 190 pounds, free safety, has had 2 knee surgeries, we were told, coming in. Just an absolute medical wonder. He's even out on the football field. Unfortunately, on a big return, got a block, and we are told now that he's got a blown knee once again. So not good news for Ciosi and his family and all the Bulldog fans.
No, and that's too bad. I thought it was 3. I thought it was 3 surgeries that he's had, and obviously this is going to make it 4, and that's too bad. Never like to see that.
Well, the teams now, the captains and Glacier Peak will start with the ball as they kicked off. And again, if you're just joining us in the second half, it's Glacier Peak 14, the Bulldogs in the green from Mount Vernon. We are streaming live here, Snohomish Times Sports Network, STSPN. Again, we want to apologize. We were unable to get our usual high-speed internet connection tonight, so we are coming to you live from Mount Vernon High School with only a 3G connection. That's why your picture might be a little choppy tonight. A little choppy waters out there tonight.
Yeah, we're back. We're in one of these smaller town stadiums, kind of cramped up here in the press box, and only getting 3G. What's the world coming to?
We're, as Coach Roy Rosenbaugh said, it was good for his team to get this experience on the road. Good for the STSPN crew to get their experience on the road as well, as we're in uncharted waters here in this booth. So exciting. Again, we've seen glimmers of an exciting ball game from both offenses. Maybe the second half we'll start to see some firepower and we'll get upwards of some scoring. Right now, Glacier Peak on top, 14-7.
These type of games you typically see when you're expecting a shootout, you typically see it happening in the second half. So I look for it to be opened up a little bit more in the second half. The defenses get a little bit more tired, so you start to see some bigger plays. So stick with us, folks. Here we go.
Here we go. Cody Patrick, 43 now, on to kick for Mount Vernon. He kicks it deep, and that is Caribou. Takes it to the 28, now gets taken down. Nice tackle by the Bulldogs.
So AK's looking healthy.
He is. He stumbled and bumbled and looked a little limpy and gimpy, but he looks like he's okay.
Yeah, he's got it out about the 30-yard line, so not a bad run back.
So 1st and 10 now for the senior and the guys in white traveling up north here from Snohomish. They're going to say it's on the 30-yard line. The scoreboard is off. You're not watching the scoreboard. 1st and 10. Lenny back to pass. Now finds Evan Nelson on the near side. Gets some room. Takes it up the sideline. And is pushed out of bounds by Cody Patrick at the 46-yard line. Don't see any flags.
And Evan Nelson is petitioning for one, and that should have been a flag. He hit him late out of bounds, but it's a matchup we've been waiting to see. We've been waiting to see Evan Nelson get the ball a little bit.
Well, that'll be a first down taken out by Stefan Van Cooey, 84 for the Bulldogs. Hands it off to AK-47. Sheds one tackler, but he's hit hard and taken down for a loss. Good play there by Vince Mata.
Well, they tried to use the short side of the field on that and get him around the corner, and there just wasn't any room for him to go.
Mata, another senior in this heavy doses of seniors. Coach Jackson Schweikert telling mostly this is just juniors and seniors on his 40-man roster. 2nd and 12 for Lenny. Now he's back. He gets it away to Josh May, it looks like, and he is going to only make 2 or 3 yards as he's slammed to the ground by Colton Ness.
Well, he had to work hard for those 2 or 3 yards, and a lot of pressure Lenny had on that. Good heads-up play to get that ball off.
3rd and 12 now at the 40. Where are they going to mark it now? All the way to the 49. Again, you saw there big Blake Allen, the senior for the Bulldogs, in the backfield. He had tons of rushes. Caribou on the far side, he's going to get the first down and just a couple more deeper into Bulldog territory, probably around, looks like they're going to say, the 46-yard line. Colton Ness again on the tackle for the Bulldogs.
And he does pick it up. They haven't changed it on the scoreboard yet, but are they indicating 4th down over there? It looked to me like he had it. 4th and 1, obviously this is kind of a no-brainer for Coach Rowe. He'd go from this pretty much anywhere in the field.
Far side of the field, probably easier to see for you guys. Lenny stutters, and he takes it. I don't know if he's going to get it.
I don't think he did get it.
Again, number 69, big Blake Allen on the tackle.
He didn't get it, and it looked like it almost looked like a broken play or something, because Lenny kind of stutter stepped back there, and he didn't. Oh, they're calling for a measurement though, so don't give up on it yet. But from here in the press box, it looked like he was short.
They gave him a heck of a spot, says spotter Ron Henthorn. As you guys have a great picture, I know it's a little choppy, but you can see the chains coming out. Again, 69, Blake Allen, and also Mata for the Bulldogs.
Boy, they put it on the other side of the 45-yard line. Oh, but they didn't get it.
Just short. So a big stop for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, not a great fourth down play for the Grizzlies there. Lenny kind of stutter stepped, and by the time he got a head of steam going, it was too late.
So they turn it over with 10:27 in the third quarter. If you're just joining us, Glacier Peak up 14-7 over the Bulldogs of Mount Vernon. Junior quarterback Bennett Gibson, number 17 in the shotgun, with Markel Okodi. Rolls left. Now he gets rid of it. Adam West comes up with it somehow, and he gets all the way into Glacier Peak territory at the 43-yard line.
That's a huge break for them, because actually Trey Chambers is the one. He actually got a piece of that ball, and it kind of flickered right into Adam West's hands. And
was that Trey Chambers or Eli Whipple?
No, it was Trey Chambers.
Okay.
And it was kind of an early Christmas present there for Adam West.
Great catch by Adam West, as we heard about him coming into tonight. So 1st and 10 on the Glacier Peak 45. Bennett Gibson over to Eliku. Adam West spins out of one tackle and gets about 5 yards.
I think it's a fumble. I think it's a fumble.
Glacier Peak saying they have it. Now seeing who's at the bottom of the pile with the ball as you look. And they are saying
Smeds has got the ball.
I think big number 55, Jacob Cerna, came up with the ball. The officials saying it is still Bulldog football.
I see Rowe grabbing his challenge flag over there. There's the red flag. Oh, they don't have that.
If only they had a challenge. And
if he had it, he'd use it right there. I'll tell you that.
These games might take a lot longer. So 2nd and 7 at the 42-yard line. Gibson rolls to his left, almost getting hammered, gets it away, and it's broken up.
And he caught it.
They're saying reception. Great grab by Richard Dutton. Brandon Hershey was there.
Hershey was all over him, too. Hershey was saying he didn't catch it.
So another first down for the Bulldogs.
It was kind of unclear from this angle, but Hershey was petitioning the ref saying, no, that's incomplete.
Some great grabs by these receivers here in this opening drive of the second half for the Mount Vernon Bulldogs. Gibson back to pass now. It's complete on the near side. Trying to get some more again. Richard Dutton with the reception. Again, they're going to have a gain of 8 or 9.
Eli Whipple was dragging him out of bounds there. They're actually finding their groove in the passing game here. They certainly couldn't find it in the running game. Problem is when you find your groove in the passing game, it's going to open up that running game, and that's going to be a little scary if they can start opening that up.
Another first down now on that reception. He must have tiptoed out of bounds. Gibson, quick pass over to Dutton again on the near side. Now he's dragged out by Whipple and Hershey after gaining about 4 yards.
I think I see a flag down there, too.
Whistles are going all over the place here.
It might be a little extracurricular activity.
Wait for the call again if you're just joining us. The refs had
it's a personal foul.
Face mask.
You know what? I could almost see that coming the last few plays. They've been getting real close to getting those called on them. They're kind of late hitting them out of bounds and staying on top of them, and you could just kind of see that coming a mile away. And I think the refs were letting them get away with a couple, and finally they said enough's enough.
So a huge penalty again for Glacier Peak now. 1st and goal at the 9-yard line. First half was just laden with penalties on both sides. Jackson Schweikert, the Bulldog coach, fourth-year coach. Now as they get set, Bennett Gibson pervades the field. Now Stapps almost just throws it away over
and
the
Timmy Douglas was actually on him while he was throwing it.
You can see Timmy Douglas, he was wrapped around his legs as he released the ball.
I like calling that name too, Scott. Timmy Douglas.
Well, I'm sure all of our STSPN fans and frequent readers of SnohomishTimes.com saw all the articles, and we did one featuring the Timmy Douglas Show.
They're probably getting sick of reading and hearing about Timmy Douglas being all over the place. We got to calm Timmy Douglas down out there.
5'7", 175-pound senior Timmy Douglas.
That's with his pads on and stuff.
Second and goal now from the 9. Gibson, quick throw over to West.
Oh.
He's hit hard in the backfield, and now he's dragged down by Hershey and a few others.
He actually slipped that first tackle in the backfield, or would have been like another 2 or 3 yards more of a loss.
Austin Jacobson, haven't called his name too many times. 38 for GP on the play.
Yeah, Austin kind of plays a position where you don't call his name that much, but he comes up big.
Now Bennett Gibson, again, just 2 years of football before coming into this year.
It's a big 3rd and 9 play that they're staring at here.
3rd and goal. They were knocking on the door in the first half.
They got everybody over on the right.
This is quadruple right formation. Now he looks to the near side. Now he breaks a tackle. Going to run to the right. Now flips it in. It's broken up by Brandon Hershey. Great job by Hershey to break up a possible touchdown.
He almost picked that off too. So now you got him staring at a 4th and 9, and you might see a field goal kicker coming in here. They've been going for it on these, but I would be surprised if they didn't kick this.
I do see their field goal kicker, Cody Pickett, the captain, senior, 28 for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, they are gonna go attempt for a field goal
from the 9-yard line.
No gimmies here in high school football on these.
So what is 28-yard line? 28er?
It looks good.
It is up, and it is good. So with 7:59 left in the third quarter, the Mount Vernon Bulldogs have 10 points, and the Glacier Peak Grizzlies still at 14.
Well, so, Scott, the difference in that was that 15-yard penalty. You know,
absolutely.
That makes all the difference in the world. They don't have that 15-yard penalty. They probably don't get a field goal out of that.
So Cody Patrick, the senior, also was part of the halftime homecoming festivities. Punches it through to get the Glacier Peak lead to 4 points. Again, we want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. All our great around your screen. Mongo's on Highway 9 in Clearview. Tremendous food, Tim.
You got to check out Mongo's.
If you haven't,
they're kind of hidden back there, though. You got to kind of know what you're looking for, but it'll be a treat once you find it.
So a 7-play drive for the Bulldogs. However, they were stopped on the 9-yard line. They had 1st and goal at the 9 and couldn't punch it in for the end zone. Had to settle for a field goal, making it 14-10 Glacier Peak. Cody picks it off, and now AK on the return, gets up the middle.
Tripped up hard.
Slips and falls at about the 27-yard line.
Was that AK or was that 17? Oh, I think it was AK. And he looks like he's stumbling or limping out there. Yeah, he's kind of favoring his right leg out there. He kind of got tripped up real hard out there, and he's tough. He doesn't want to come off the field.
He's a tough kid, senior. Had some injuries this year, as we talked about. Again, when you're watching Glacier Peak, on the far side of the field is Quentin Dunbar, number 8. Josh May, the inside receiver, and we have Evan Nelson, the speedster, on the near side here. David Linney fakes to out. Now he hands it to Elledge. Elledge breaks a tackle, gets to the 35, all the way down to the 40. That'll be a first down.
First down and then some.
For the wrestler.
tough to bring down. He didn't even really have that big of a hole. He would just kind of find his own holes there.
Check that. He's down at the 40-yard line. Lenny now gives it to AK-47 Caribou, and he punches through and gets a pickup of 5.
And that's that smash mouth style where you think you got him hit at the line of scrimmage, but he just kind of dives and gets about 5 yards on that play.
Place him right just before the 46-yard line.
6 yards they're giving him, actually.
2nd and 4. Lenny now. Oh, he loses the
it.
ball, and it's
recovered
by the Bulldogs. The second fumble of the night for David
Wait, you know
Lenny.
what? That's actually that should be an incomplete pass.
Well, Vince Mata says no. He says he fumbled the ball and I got it.
He had Elledge. He was going to do a screen pass to Elledge, and Elledge was wide open, and he just kind of lost his mind on that. And that's Lenny's 3rd turnover to go along with 3 turnovers on downs. That's actually 4 turnover on downs I think they've had.
So the Bulldogs get it in Glacier Peak territory. And there's Markel. He gets a burst. He's through the middle and gets all the way down to the 20-yard lines. Hello, Mr. Akoti. The first time we've seen his speed and power tonight.
Well, that's the first time he's been able to break it through that line. And once he got into open territory, obviously very difficult to bring down. And that's going to add to his yards per carry there.
A big first down that takes him all the way to the 20-yard line of Glacier Peak. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Markello Cody gets it again. No, that's Micah Scott, the second string, who could probably play first string, and he gets it down to the 10-yard line.
Yeah, and they're opening up that running game, and Micah Scott, he's averaging 9.7 yards a carry, and I think he got at least that on that one, so it's impressive on the whole year when you can average almost 10 yards a carry and your second string.
Again, they were just here just a few minutes. 1st and goal. Hands off to Cody through the front line. This time he's stopped for maybe a gain of 1.
Yeah, and the problem we have here is the defense has been the defense was just on the field for a long time, and now they're back on there, and we turned the ball over quick, and that's very difficult on your defense.
Looking more like a typical Markello Cody ball game. He's 14 carries for 43 yards now, with 1 touchdown earlier in the first half. They're going to give him 3 yards, so 2nd and goal now from the 7. Bennett Gibson, the quarterback for the Bulldogs. He hands it off to Markel, and he is met firmly right at the line of scrimmage. Again, Bussing, number 55, Nathan Bussing, the junior, who was out for the entire year except last week was his first time playing, broke his foot the first practice of fall.
Yeah, that was costly, too. And they were expecting a lot out of him, and good to call his name.
3rd and goal. They're going to give him 2 on that.
They gave him 2 yards on that?
Yes, sir, from the 5-yard line.
It was a generous 2 yards.
Markel now in the single set backfield. Gibson rolls left, now stops, moves to the right. He's got trouble. Timmy Douglas evades the tackler, now gets rid of it. Is it caught? No. Incomplete in the end zone. Intended for Zamba, I believe. 13, Zach Bomba.
And that's,
little Zamba Bomba, baby.
That's one. That's one of those where you can almost call it a coverage sack. He was being chased all over the place. He had nobody to throw it to.
So 2 times within minutes. It's 5:27 left here in the 3rd quarter. The Bulldogs 10, Glacier Peak 14. And we see Cody Patrick on to try his 2nd field goal of the 3rd quarter.
Remember, high school field goals, no gimmies here by any stretch.
It's about a 20.
And I don't think he got it.
Did he get it? He did.
He did, but I don't know if you saw on the far side, Elledge just about came in there and blocked that, and he kind of squirted it right through.
So the mighty Bulldogs in green from the home team Mount Vernon bring within 1. Now 13-14, Glacier Peak hanging on to a lead. 5:25 left in the 3rd quarter. Tim Boyle.
Yeah, and I think the difference in the game right now is turnovers for Glacier Peak. They're squeaking out a 1-point lead right now, but they need to hold on to the ball and not turn it over. Lenny's got three 3 turnovers of his own right, 2 fumbles and an interception.
Yep.
And then we've got, 3 or 4 turnover on downs. So that's a lot of turnovers.
And usually last year, again, the Glacier Peak Grizzlies was just a turnover machine on defense. 18 turnovers. Coming into tonight, they had 6 through 6 games. They picked up 1
or 2 tonight.
Well, they had an interception tonight. I don't know if they had a fumble.
They should have had one from Elledge tonight, and so I think they did just get the 1.
So Cody Patrick gets it down. That's Evan Nelson. Cuts in the middle of the field. Now he breaks the tackle. Gets through the fingertips to the 50, to the 40. Pushes him out of
bounds. Oh, you got to throw a flag.
Late hit by Van Dinkui.
Did they throw the flag? They did throw the flag, because that should tack on 15 more, because they got him out of bounds and they were wrestling him around for another 5 or 6 yards, and then the guy came and just drilled him out of bounds. So you got to call that.
A 55-yard return for Evan Nelson.
Yep. Face mask, 15 yards. The face mask, I'm surprised it wasn't a late hit out of bounds. I didn't see the face mask, actually. But that must have been part of the extracurricular activity going on. But, hey, that's a big run back for the Grizzlies. That's going to bring them all the way down to, the 20-yard line?
Boom! Shakalaka, baby!
Boom, shakalaka!
Bam! Shaka-bam! Evan Nelson gets them right back into deep Bulldog territory.
And I'll tell you what, Evan Nelson is one fast player.
He had a couple of arm tackles that he just fast-footed right through.
And he had that one big return that was negated earlier, too.
Yes, he did.
He would have had a lot of all-purpose yards tonight.
So with 5:13 left in the third quarter, David Lenny
brings
is
him
on
down to... Oh, sorry.
the 13-yard line of the Bulldogs. Apologize for the choppy video. He hands it off. No, he keeps it. It's fumbled again. And Bulldogs say they have it. It is. Unbelievable. The Glacier Peak Grizzlies, just a turnover machine tonight. Colton Ness with the recovery.
Who fumbled that?
I couldn't tell if Lenny had it.
It was Lenny. Lenny fumbled that, and
what is that, third?
That's his 4th turnover. 1 interception and 3 fumbles.
3 fumbles, though. He is having a difficult time holding on to the ball.
That's, you know what, and I hate to pick on the kid, but I just talked to you earlier. I said they really need to hold on to the ball in this, and hey, Nelson gets it down to the 13-yard line for him, and what do we do on the first play? Fumble.
Deep in the territory, here's Markell trying to slip a tackle outside. He is forced down sternly by Trey Chambers, and they'll give him a couple.
Yeah, and disappointing if you're a Grizzly fan watching all these turnovers, and how they still have a lead by 1 point is shocking when you've turned the ball over like 6 times during the game.
They're up 14-13. The margin is very thin. Had an opportunity to score right there and fumbled it. All they've done is fumbled. Gibson now gets it over to Goddard. Slips the tackle. Now he's got room. Makes another move, eludes one tackler, and gets all the way up close to the 35-yard line. Casey Big Play Welsh finally drug him down.
Yeah, and I spoke about this a few minutes ago. This is very difficult on the defense when you're on the field like that. And, once we're getting the ball, we're turning it over right away, so our defense really isn't getting any rest, and it's tough. And that's when you start to see the offense opening up the game.
Bennett Gibson, the quarterback now. In the shotgun, he's got Markell Okoti on his right. Gibson now 14 for 27, 202 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Hands it to Markell. Markell trying to find something, but he is met
absolutely nothing.
In the
I
backfield.
think he might have lost a yard on that.
Timmy Douglas in there. Jacobson in there.
He kind of ran into a whole posse of Grizzlies there.
So no gain on that. 2nd and 10.
I guess they gave him back to the line of scrimmage. It didn't look like it to me.
We've got him at the 33-yard line. So they look again. These teams mirror images of each other with no huddle, spread offense, getting their signals from the sideline. Bennett Gibson back to pass. Casey Welsh on it. Timmy Douglas almost gets him. Overthrown. Is it intercepted?
Oh, there's a flag back here.
Incomplete pass. Flag on the play.
And Timmy Douglas almost had him back there, too. He just had him right at the ankles and just not quite quick enough.
Patented Timmy Douglas.
Oh, it's an illegal man downfield for Mount Vernon.
This is our 7th game tonight. I have not seen that call as many times tonight.
Jeez, it's been like 5 times tonight.
Illegal man downfield and 2 run and shoot offenses. So 2nd and 10 at the 33, and we'll see what the penalty of pushing back to. A lot of stops and starts tonight, and it has been a penalty fest on both sides of the ball.
It really has. A lot of costly ones, too.
5 yards. It'll push him back now. Again, you're watching Glacier Peak football on the Snohomish Times Sports Network. We want to apologize. We have a 3G connection, so we know the video is choppy. We apologize for that. That's all we could get up here in Mount Vernon, so
stick with us,
folks. Stick with us. 2nd and 15 now. Cody. No, that's Micah. Micah Scott all the way down the sideline, past the 50 and all the way to the 41-yard line before he's brought down by Trey Chambers, the backup running back. Micah Scott, he is a beauty.
And I don't know how you call the guy a backup when he's averaging about 10 yards a carry. After tonight, he'll probably be averaging 11 yards a carry.
I'm just calling him backup, Tim, because that's what the coach told me to.
I know. It's hard to believe, though.
Trey Chambers, the sophomore, finally runs him out of the bounds, but now they're in Grizzly territory at the 44-yard line. Another big first down for the Bulldogs. Gibson back to pass. Call on the chase. Nice ball.
Oh, nice defense by Trey Chambers.
Trey Chambers just one-handed knocked that down, intended for the speedster Adam West.
Great heads-up play by Trey Chambers. And he's kind of all over the place. He's kind of like the Timmy Douglas of the backfield.
Defensive coordinator Steve Hannon telling us one of the best cover guys he has, and he is just a sophomore.
And again, I said earlier, Steve Hannon said Timmy Douglas is not coming out of the game on defense tonight.
So 2nd and 10 now, 44. Fakes now, hands off, and that is...
Oh, and he loses 3 yards on that.
Cody, and Quentin Dunbar gets in the backfield in a hurry. So he'll lose some yards. Again, talking to coordinator for Glacier Peak, Steve Hannon, one of the things he talked about trying to do is get Quentin Dunbar on the edge and get him in the backfield to disrupt the offense.
Did he lose 7 yards on that play?
That's what they're saying. Back of the 40.
That's gonna hurt his average there.
Back to Bulldog territory. Gibson. Oh, he gets hammered by Dunbar. It's almost intercepted. Again.
And Quentin Dunbar just absolutely shellacked him right when he was getting that ball off. And furthermore, then we had somebody almost picked it off.
Wong.
Wong almost picked it off.
Another sophomore in on the coverage and almost had an INT.
Great heads-up play on the defense, and now they're staring at 4th and 17. Now, I'm going to say it again, Scott. Glacier Peak needs to hold on to the ball here. So many turnovers.
Over Cody Pickett again.
Oh, my goodness. He got those. Look at that roll.
Cody Pickett, the king of the roller. His punt tonight, that gets all the way down.
And these are horrible punts that he's getting off, too. And then he gets like 20-some yards a roll.
I think that hit the ground around the 30, and they're going to spot it at the 12. Or almost the 15, excuse me.
I think it did. It just kind of barely got to the 30.
Well, the turnover didn't hurt Glacier Peak on that, Tim. They got away with one with a good stop. It's
a field position turnover. They go from having it down at the 13-yard line in the red zone. So the turnover didn't hurt them on the points on the board, but Mount Vernon didn't get any points, but either did Glacier Peak.
David Lenny having trouble. 3 fumbles tonight. Now he goes over, passes it over.
By the way.
Becerra's in. over to Elledge, and he gets a first down and a couple more up to around the 28-yard line.
Yeah, so they did do a quarterback change there, and I was wondering if they were going to do that when you have, all these turnovers. You gotta make some type of adjustment.
Well, I'm sure Lenny doesn't like that, but a good pickup for Sean Elledge to the 28, a first down. Now they get to Elledge coming on the near side. Loses one guy. Now stutter steps, and he's got more coming as the green jerseys finally knock him down.
I think he's going to lose some yards on that, I think.
Back to the 25-yard line, about 3. One thing we see Sean Elledge, as powerful as he is, when he's in the backfield, he tries to stutter step, and then the recovery team comes in, and he doesn't have anywhere to go.
Yeah, I know, and that's part of the problem. He typically doesn't have anywhere to go on those.
They're going to have him at the 24. They're going to say he lost 4 yards. Vince Mata, the big kid from Bulldog Country, gets him. Becerra in trouble. He's taken down. The Bulldog defense starting to get crazy now. Zach Oliver with the sack. And they're starting to feel it on the green side.
Oh, they are. I'll tell you what, the defensive line out there, they're fired up. Look how big they are, too.
Leaves them at 3rd and 17, a loss of 3 on that play, going the opposite direction, trying to get all the way up to the 38-yard line for a first down. Becerra, the junior backup quarterback, now over the middle, caught by Elledge.
I think it's underthrown. Are they giving it to him?
The near judge says
it looked like it was
an
incomplete, but they're calling it a completion.
Well,
it looked to me like it skimmed the ground.
Looks like the punt teams coming in made up a huge difference, but still
I think you got to punt it from that area.
Time is running out on the third quarter here. If you just joined us, Glacier Peak clinging to a 14-13 lead over the Bulldogs of Mount Vernon. Smedrud back to punt, averaging 42 yards a punt this season.
Oh, that's a great punt.
Gets it off. Oh, it hits!
Oh!
It hits a Grizzly.
It hit
Evan Nelson, or is that...
It was Evan Nelson, and that thing would have gone like another 15, 20 yards. What a tough break for the Grizzlies. It hits him in the back as he's running down the field, and, it's... Who knows what would have happened with that, but my guess is it would have bounced another 20 yards.
A tough break, but actually a good break because it hit him, and there wasn't a Bulldog around to pick it up. That could have been Bulldog ball. Glacier Peak. Oh, I'm sorry. He was punting. I apologize.
Yeah, he was punting, so... Yeah, tough break for the Grizzlies.
I gotta stop. I get so excited. Okay, so 6 seconds left in the third quarter. They handed the end around to number 8, and he's taken down by Trey Chambers in the background.
Chambers stayed home on that route, and they didn't fool him. Great play by Trey Chambers. He just stayed put and didn't fool anybody.
Yeah, Colton Ness, number 8 for the Bulldogs, tried the end around there, and good play, and that ends the third quarter. I'll try and figure out who has the ball, and we'll go into the fourth quarter here on the Snohomish Times Sports Network.
I think when we come back, it's going to be 2nd and 11 for the Bulldogs starting the fourth quarter.
2nd and 11 on their own 30-yard line.
So he lost a yard on that play.
Well, the turnovers have absolutely devastated Glacier Peak coming in the third quarter.
Well, and Lenny's got 4 of them himself, and... Lenny's usually not like that. He's usually pretty smooth out there, and the coaching staff had to make a change.
Not having a bad night, 9 for 22. But again, the 3 fumbles and the 1 interception.
And a pick, so
4 turnovers so far for the Grizzlies.